Hey guys, this is Mimo here with his Gold Paladin deck profile. This is going to be an Ezel Lohengrin deck build. I'm a little sick, so my voice may be a little scratchy, so bear with me. So for the grade 3s we have one Ezel, we have 3 agravain, and 3 Sagramore. The reason we have 3 agravain is because he does the same passive as Ezel does, but he gets an extra critical on him. And with his soul charge, he gets 2,000 a turn, so he ends up becoming, almost no matter what, able to hit a cross ride with a booster behind him for a crit. So the thing is, we're in the cross ride format now, so he may be more needed than normal. The reason we're only running one Ezel is because we have the superior ride, and we want to have that agravain as a backup almost every time in case we really need the extra power against a cross ride who guarded early and left Ezel's limit break nearly, like, not even threatening unless you pull a critical trigger, and they're being careful for that already. So with agravain, it gives you the freedom to actually give your crits to your rear guards easily without giving any shits. Sagramore, he's just a good rearguard vanguard, and worst comes to worst if you ride him, at least his counterblast still allows you to hit vanguards who are cross rides. But you shouldn't need to most of the time. He's just there in case you have to use him. So that's our grade 3 lineup. There's only 7 grade 3s because Gold Paladins are a little too aggressive to have no, like, you just don't want that many grade 3s stuck in your hand. I'm a little sick, I'm wording things wrong, I know. 4 Bowmans because we have the Crisp Superior Ride Chain, and 10k Vanillas are always good. 4 Trip because we want to be able to make sure agravain can go off. Unfortunately, because the deck counterblasts a little later into the game, I've seen this just plain not happening. So I'm thinking of adding my damage givers again so that I can do early limit breaks just so her effect actually goes off more often to flip the damage back up. And 2 Nemean Line. I'm testing it because, as you know, this is a very aggressive deck. You superior call it off Ezel, well, it's never a bad thing because you'll always have the 10k shield. You end up gaining 8k power on Ezel and a 10k shield for the next turn, so it's pretty good. So that's it for the grade 2s. There's only 10. Next we have our grade 1s. We have 4 Garth because we're running the Crisp Superior Ride Chain. We're running 3 Halo Shield Mark. I honestly think I should be running 4 because this deck tends to top deck this for its superior calls, so you don't want a superior call Mark pretty much. And worst comes to worst, you end up riding one a lot of the time. He really tends to stack in your starting hand, which pisses me off, but sometimes it happens. 2 Sagramore grade 1. He's an Airmo clone. Basically ditch out things you don't need and will get what you do need. Makes useless agravains in hand when you're doing good with Ezel already get dropped for better cards, and worst comes to worst, if you got a bad card again, you still have your perfect shields to get rid of it. So next we have 2 Black Mane Witch. This is to fix up your field if you accidentally superior called a trigger, or let's say you're going Lohengrin and you still have your Criff. You really don't want your Criff behind your Lohengrin because the only guy you'll be hitting scary numbers against at that point will pretty much be Majesty Lord Blaster. You'd rather get a 6k behind, so you want to try and either, if you move the Criff behind a rear guard when you started, retire the Criff and put this behind, and then try and superior call whatever you can. See if you get something good. And if Criff was behind your vanguard, just retire the Criff and either get another attacker or get a good booster. You can't go worse off than the Criff you had there. Because even if you get the soul charging crit trigger, oh, you soul charge it. Big whoop. Your agravain's that much closer to its megablast. And we have 2 Blessing Owl. Frankly, because I don't have other grade 1s that are better. Normally I would have filled this spot with Silverfang Witches, but in this deck we want to keep our soul up, so it's a no. Or at least a charge go on Silverfang, that's normally what would have gone there. And lastly, one Slagle Dagger, just in case we end up needing it and we're getting trolled and we can't pull off either our megablast or Ezel. We're stuck with that 1 damage unflipped, and you need to hit that number. So that's it for grade 1s. And next we're going to go to grade 0s. We have our starter, Crimson Line Cup Criff. He's your superior ride chain to get the 1 Ezel out. You usually end up doing this to get it out. There are times where you actually draw the Ezel thanks to Sagamore grade 1. And another reason why you run the grade 1 Sagamore Emerald clone, because you want to get his pieces as easily and as fast as possible. So let's say you have no grade 3 whatsoever, that one card, that one clone can help you draw into either agravain or Ezel. You'd prefer to get into Ezel or one of his pieces to finish up, but agravain's not a bad second best. So there's our starter. Because we're running agravain, we're running 2 Kunaigal, well, Kungal in the English. The reason why is because this deck is also based on agravain. Plus, it's a great early guard and soul charge. It doesn't... Gold paladins are very aggressive, so they don't really have the shield to survive a lot of the time. They're usually 1 card short, and this guy, well, it helps you not be that 1 card short to defend. So, yeah, the extra 10k shield I find has always been good. I ran Royal Paladins with 2 extra Barkles, and even when I wasn't calling it, it was just great to have that extra 10k shield. So, I find it's overall very useful. For our trigger lineup, we're running 3 Silent Punisher and 4 Flame of Victory, so that's 7 crit. The reason why we're doing only 7 is because we want to get 5 draw in this deck, and the reason why we're not doing 4 Silent Punisher is because this guy can soul charge, and if you pulled off the Ezel Superior Ride and you notice your limit break is not going to be of any help, and you're already at 5 damage or whatever, soul charging one of these guys and having 1 Kungal in soul, basically if you get 2 of either in your soul after a superior ride chain with Ezel, you pretty much can just ride your agravain. You already had 7 soul under, soul charge for the turn, you're at 8. So you can actually get agravain's effect off right after riding him, almost as if you did a cross ride. So it's really nice to have that trigger. For draw triggers, we have 4 Speeder Hound or Gwydion, whatever you want, and 1 Azure Falcon. I don't like Azure Falcon too much, but you occasionally top deck him, so it's okay, I guess. He's the biggest target pretty much in the whole deck almost for Blackmane Witch to retire. And lastly, we have our 4 heals. So I'm a little sick, and I hope you guys like it and try it out. Agravain's not the worst megablast out there. In fact, he's one of the better ones because let's just go through his effect. He's a megablast, but he doesn't have to hit. You just do the megablast and he gets his effect, which is he gains plus 1000 power for every gold paladin rearguard you have and a critical until the end of the game. So overall, that's great. So hope you guys enjoy the deck profile. I haven't been posting much, but hope this makes up for it a bit.